So in previous class we have learnt about advent of Europeans to India. Why Europeans have been attracted towards our country, why they have come to India, for what purpose they came to India, everything I have already explained. That explanation already have given in previous class. And Portuguese also, they were the first people, and Portugal also, it was the first country to reach India for trade purpose also, and it was the last to leave India also, I explained. Now come to Dutch. You know already Dutch, Portuguese, Dutch and French and one more English, they have come to India. Not only they came to India as a traders, they came to India and they have started their business in India with the trade link. Then they have established their supreme power in India. Not only that, just we became their slaves later on. Just one by one, I have to explain you. Dutch, you know, after Portuguese, who came to India? Here Dutch came to India. They came from Holland or Netherlands. And when they came to India, they have started their United East India Company in 1602. They came to India, and how they came to India? In the uniformity of a company that is called United East India Company, and they have started in India in 1602. After that, when they came to India, for business only they came here, and particularly their aim was we want to connect with the eastern countries of Asian continent. Eastern countries already are there because they have lot of wealth. So that reason we wanted to connect with the eastern country. For that, if we have any trade relation with them, we want to get profit. They have decided and they came to India, Java, Sumatra, Indonesia and spices rich islands. They came to India, not only India, eastern countries are called Java was there, Sumatra, Indonesia, and where spices are very rich, they have been attracted towards them and they have started their business with all these countries. And not only that, okay, they have decided and came already. Not only came, when they came to all these places, they have started their settlements. Settlements means here trading centers. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಸೂರತ್, ಬ್ರೋಚ್, ಕಾಂಬೆ, ಕೊಚ್ಚಿನ್, Nagapattinam and Machilipatnam are the important trading centers of Dutch in India, not only in India, in eastern countries of Asian continent. And these also, they were having good relationship with India and all these eastern countries. Their power has been reducing slowly. Why? Because when English and French came to India and came to eastern countries of Asian continent, when they have established their supremacy in these countries, so by this or as a result of this, Dutch power has been reducing. This is the small information about Dutch. Next one, English. You know, already we heard we were under the English. More than 300 years they have ruled us. We became the slaves of English. Here also, you know, English came to India. When they came to India, English East India Company, they came to India not in the form of, not in the name of, or not in the place of English. They came to India in the place of East India Company. English East India Company, they have started 1680 December 31st, and Royal Charter issued Queen Elizabeth with eastern countries of Asian continent. So 1006, especially they have started their English East India Company in 1680. 1680 they have started their English East India Company, but formally their real activity started from 1613. They have started their English East India Company in 1680, but formally their trading business started in India 1613, and their first trading centers also started in Surat. Their first trading center, first settlement of theirs started in Surat, and they have got permission from Mughal Emperor Jahangir. When they came to India, when they have established their English East India Company in India, and when they have decided to start our settlement in India, they have started their settlement in Surat, but they want permission, because when they were in India, during that period, many more princely states were here. Princely kings were ruling our country. So here they got permission from Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Jahangir ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥವನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಪಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Then formally their business started from 1613 AD. In 1617, okay, already they got permission from Jahangir. Their business was going. Basically, they were getting profit. Already, trade route also discovered by Vasco da Gama, by the Portuguese sailor. Okay, everything was going. But now, it is not enough to them. They want more. They wanted more and more profit they needed. So that reason, later, only Surat, their trading center, further they have decided, no, we want to extend our trading centers or settlements in India. So in 1617 AD, Sir Thomas Roe, 1617 AD, thus Sir Thomas Roe, as ambassador, he came to Jahangir's court. He came to Jahangir's court. Why did he come there? Why did he come there? Because he wanted to get more permission. Why he wants more permission? Why does he want more permission? Means they wanted to establish their trading centers or settlements in India. So they came to as an ambassador to Jahangir and get more permission. Asking more permission to extend their, where they were going to extend their trading centers, mainly they are asking Agra, and then Ahmedabad, and Bhuj. See here, already they have established their trading centers in Surat. It was the first trading center of English. But later in 1617 AD, thus Sir Thomas Roe, as an ambassador, he came to Jahangir's court and asked permission to extend their trading relationship or trading settlements in India. Especially they have decided to start where? Agra, Ahmedabad and Bhuj. These are the very important trading centers or settlements of English. Then in 1639, further 1639, English took Madras from King of Chandragiri and made a strong fort named St. George Fort. Here 1639 AD, 1639 AD, English took Madras. They occupied Madras. Who took this? It was taken by English. Madras was taken by English in 1639 AD, and from the king of Chandragiri, the king, during that period, when it was occupied by the English, it was ruled by Chandragiri, the king of Chandragiri. It was occupied by him, and ದೇ ಮೇಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಟ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫೋರ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಫೋರ್ಟ್. ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಫೋರ್ಟ್. Now also it is very famous. Here keep in mind everyone, in 1639 Madras was occupied by English from the king of Chandragiri, and he made it, or they made it, this strong fort that was known as St. George Fort. Then further we go. Later, Charles II, the Prince of England, gave Bombay as annual rent of 10 pounds a year to East India Company in 1668. See, 1668. Why? Just they came to as a traders to India. Here, how they were starting, how they were putting their effort to establish their supreme power. It means their administration also slowly starting in India, or they are putting their effort to start administration in India. Politically they were becoming strong. Keep in mind, here Dutch also, Portuguese also, and French also, they came to India as a traders. They had concentrated more towards on the trade only, but English not like that. English mainly concentrated not only trade, basically they have more concentrated on administration or political system. They knew better. Why? Because if we took administration, or if we took the whole political system in the hands of us, we have to rule very easily, and we have to trade very easily, because power is ours. Power in the hands of us. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ ಪವರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಪವರ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ parts of our country, all the parts of India. So like that they have decided in 1668 AD, Charles II, his name is Charles II, the Prince of England. In 1668 the Prince of England, England Rajakumara Yunobba, the Charles II, Prince of England, gave Bombay because it was a part of India. He gave this Bombay given by Charles II for rent. ರೆಂಟಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ 10 pounds. How many? 10 pounds. Annual rent, not monthly. Annual rent means ಇಯರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಗೇವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ರೆಂಟ್ 10 pounds a year to East India Company. English East India Company. Here you know, because English were not directly ruling during that period. Only in the name of English East India Company was ruling us during that period. So that reason 1668 AD, Charles II, he gave Bombay to English East India Company for annual rent of 10 pounds. 10 pounds. So East India Company in 1668. Further in 1690, further one by one chronological order it goes. So in 1690 English purchased 3 villages. So Satananti, Calicut, Govindapura. See here further one by one how they were establishing their supreme power in India. They came as a traders. Keep in mind, they came as a traders like others, like rest of Europeans. ಆ ಥರ ಬಂದರು. but how they were one by how they were establishing their supreme power. In 1690 AD, English purchased or purchase ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೊಂಡುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ mainly 3 villages. For example, Sutananti, Calicut, Govindapura on the banks of Hooghly River. So these three means here 1 minute. See here, Sutananti, Govindapura, and one more Kalikata. Kalikata, not Calicut, Kalikata. So it was known as Kalikata. Nowadays it is known as Calicut. So English purchased in 1690 AD. They have purchased the Sutananti, Govindapura, and Kalikata on the banks of Hooghly River. Basically, these 3 places on the banks of river Hooghly. Hooghly ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ರಿವರ್ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ, it was a more prominent river in India. So they were in the banks of river Hooghly and built Fort William around Calcutta city. You know, Calicut we are telling, Calcutta. Nowadays we are calling Calcutta, we are calling. So around this they made strong fort that is called Fort William. Fort William. Today also it was very famous, Fort William Fort. When they have occupied all these, not only occupied, when they have purchased all these, they made a strong fort around the Calicut city that is known as Fort William. Fort William ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. And later on by 17th century, Madras, Bombay, Calcutta became presidencies because their power was increasing slowly. Already they got permission from Jahangir. When they got permission, Jahangir, just their settlement was just Surat. Further they have established their supreme power or their trading center, Agra, Ahmedabad and Broach also. Later Bombay also given to East India Company for 10 pounds only, and later 1690 AD they have purchased 3 villages. Around 3 villages also they made a strong fort that is known as Fort William, and by 17th century their power has been increased and mainly Madras, Bombay and Calcutta became presidencies. You know presidency, what is the meaning of presidency? Presidency means generally we call, nowadays we generally we have this is village, this is state. During that period, in those days there were no village, small villages were there, but many more villages have together made a province and presidents. This kind of name already they have given. So that reason by the 17th century Madras, Bombay and Calcutta became the presidencies. During 19th century Calcutta became their capital and civil and criminal procedure code implemented under their control. You know, not only this, by 17th century also their power has been increasing, not stopped, has been increasing. And during 19th century Calicut became Calcutta. Nowadays we are calling Calcutta. Calcutta became their capital, and not only this, they have started their own law, criminal and civil procedure also. They made their own codes also implemented under their control. Why? Because they have started criminal laws also only applying to the Britishers, not Indians. And civil law also only applying to the Britishers or British officers, not Indians. So it was the big problem for Indians but these civil and criminal courts or civil and criminal laws were very helpful for the Britishers to control ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್. See, next, French. You know, French also came in 1664 AD to India in the name of French East India Company. Here, French East India Company. Here, Dutch also came, United East India Company. English came to India, English East India Company. French also came to India as a traders. All were coming as a traders. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ, ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ದೇರ್ ಪವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಟು ಲೂಟ್ ಆರ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಲೂಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರೂ ಸಹ ತಮ್ಮ ಪವರ್ನ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ 1664 AD French East India Company started and their settlements means they came to India. Okay, normally they came, they were not trading with our countries. First they have established their trading centers in India, because whatever they can purchase, whatever they can take, they have to kept in particular place. Oh, this is our center. They like that, our house. Whatever we have to keep in our house. And whatever you can do through our house or through our shop, through our whatever. So warehouses are there. Through like that, they made some warehouses for trade purpose only. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. So their settlements are Machilipatnam, then Chandranagur, Mahe, Karaikal, Qasim Bazaar, and one more, Balasur. See, what are the settlements of French? What were the trading centers of French? If they ask, this is also 1 mark question or 2 mark question. Machilipatnam, Chandranagur, Mahe, Karaikal, Qasim Bazaar and Balasur. These were the prominent trading centers of French. In 1674 AD, the French took Walikandapuram for local Muslim official and developed major trade center, that is called Pondicherry or Puducherry. You know, basically in India, many places names have been changed. So here also, when the French came to India in 1674 AD, they took Walikandapuram. Nowadays it is known as Puducherry or Pondicherry. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ Pondicherry or Puducherry. They have took from Walikandapuram from local Muslim. Walikandapuram, it was ruled by local Muslim. ಒಬ್ಬ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಅದನ್ನ ಆಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಂದ ಇವರನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ and developed that. Further it was developed by the French and it became nowadays or it became Puducherry or Pondicherry. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವು ಪುದುಚೇರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಂಡಿಚೇರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So and it became the main trading center of French. Which one? Pondicherry or Puducherry. Its original name is Valikandapuram. It was taken by French and developed themselves and it became the main trading centers of French. Later Dupleix arrived in Pondicherry as the Governor General of French to establish a major power in South India. It made Carnatic was with English. You know, later Puducherry, okay, French came to India in the name of French East India Company, and they have started their trading centers in Machilipattanam, Chandranagore, Mahe, Karaikal, Kasim Bazar and Balasur. In 1674 AD, they have taken Valikandapuram from the local Muslim officer and developed it, and it became the main center of French or main trading centers of French. Later on, who came to Dupleix? He was the main Governor General of French. He came to India as a Governor General of French. ಒಬ್ಬ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಡೂಪ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. He was the main ruler of ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗವರ್ನರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ mainly post as called Governor General of French. He came to India and he started his supreme power in India. ಅವನು ನಾನು ಕಡಿಮೆನ, ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪವರನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟ. By this, as a result of this, due to this, 3 Carnatics war have been taken place between French and English. ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ನಡುವೆ 3 ವಾರಗಳು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. They were first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War and third Carnatic War. So I have further or in a further class I tell you, I explain you. Thank you for all.